and stuff. This your guy, like, he just is just like they got the worst casting. Like, how could you get any worse? He doesn't say a word. He doesn't do. He's just sitting there, just huh.
All right, we are live. I changed it up a little if you want to look at it. I think
Let's see
it
here.
works out. I got to pull it up on my thing. Let me, there we go. Share.
And get my chat up. Oh, we are live.
Tempest in a teacup, get unique. Peroxide princess. Oh, I like this little setup. The chat's a lot bigger than we are, but
Let's see here. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Here we go. Scar tissue. Live now. Scar tissue. All right.
a little something
That's
different.
funny. I just now realized with all of our images, we're all within like literally 2 minutes on this episode.
I had set up until you said it this morning. I had set up you like you see how it's Dex and Deb looking at each other. I had you as Deb and me as Dex, or whatever, vice versa.
Aww, that's cute. Oh, looks like we got Jennifer in. Hey, Jennifer.
Oh, can I just? How come you just can't post anymore, bro? It's so annoying. Great post from your page, God.
I'm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just Jennifer's asking how we're doing. I'm doing excellent.
I'm doing
Tired, but excellent.
I'm doing good. We are finally COVID negative, so let's go.
That's good.
Yeah.
How long?
God.
How long did it take you to get negative?
I don't know. I was positive last Sunday, not this Sunday that passed, a week before. So, but this is the first time I tested. I just waited it out and everything.
Oh,
so,
okay, okay.
Yeah, I didn't bother keep getting tested.
We're going like every 3 days or whatever some people do.
No, I wasn't rushing back to work anyway, so it's not a big deal. I'm still work from home, so if I got it, they'd be like, "Oh, that sucks." Can you send me that TPS report? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can work the weekend. Okay. No. No, I like my job, actually. I can say it. I like it. I would actually, because since I am work from home, if I didn't feel good, I would actually probably still go to work, honestly. Unless I'm like really under the weather, because there was one day I was really under the weather. I was doing some stuff and I messaged my supervisor and I was like, "Hey, I'm going 5 feet behind my desk and I'm going to bed." So, yeah, allergies were kicking my ass.
I actually don't have a third question.
One thing. I gave you one thing to do.
You gave me one thing to do, and yeah, I'm gonna try this out.
Hold on, let me get my something real quick. One sec.
Oh, I forgot I could just talk. Jen, throw us a random question. We're trying to do 3 questions, and we only have 2.
You can say hi real quick. Come here. Come here. Come and say hi.
Wow.
You can say hi. I know that's what we've been dealing with. You give her what she wants, and it's just. Come here, Gracie. Come on. Like a dog.
Favorite pizza topping. That's a good one. Actually, yep. That's
Oh,
actually
that is a good one.
Yeah. All right, you ready, or does Grace need to say hi?
Yeah, she wants to say hi just really quick.
Say
There's
hi.
Victor. You say hi to Victor.
Hi.
Victor, come here.
Hi.
Say hi.
Another. The camera's so because of the green screen. There we go. Ah.
Hi, Grace.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
All right. You say bye bye. You say bye bye.
Cool shirt.
She said, Chad Smith. Is that the drummer? Chad Smith. Chad Smith.
They're gonna make fun of your Nirvana shirt. So they don't.
I asked her what her favorite Nirvana. Oh, I was about to do a really dark joke. Can I do a dark joke?
It's your child.
Well, it's not actually. It's not involving her. It's involving Nirvana. It always upsets me. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So, side note to the joke. I get what they're. I get like they're the reason they're held to the ways for grunge. They're what brought it into the mainstream and stuff like that. I've personally just never been a big,
Right.
like person for it. So everyone was always like, when I was like in like middle school and high school, especially when I got to college, everyone was like, when we would talk about Nirvana and stuff, like especially one of my friends, really good friends, Megan, she'd always be like, yeah, I know. She's like, what do you think like would happen if Kirk, didn't like kill himself? And I was like, I know it'd suck. I wouldn't have Foo Fighters. So
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I love Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters is top one of my favorite. I've seen them in concert 3 times. Like I love Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
So Dave Grohl, one of my favorite like guitarists and drummers, singers all time. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is. I love him. He's like a rock. He's like a living rock god at the moment.
Yeah, he can do every, like when you watch have you ever seen Foo Fighters in concert?
No.
Okay, if you ever go, he plays drums.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
actually sit there and play drums on occasion and stuff. I don't know. It's amazing.
I've
So-
watched a ton of I don't want to do this on the podcast, but did you see Jen's question?
Oh,
Do you think Kurt's death was a conspiracy?
we can talk about that at another. I mean, we can talk about it right now. I don't care. Like, oh yeah, because we're not recording for the podcast, right? This is
Yeah.
just live.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I don't think that it's not what we are told about. I don't believe the official story. I'll say that. So I guess in a way it is a conspiracy, but I don't believe the hardcore.
What is the conspiracy? Like I appreciate Jen's question. I just don't know what she's referring to.
What I understand, and Jen in the chat, I don't have the chat up right now, so Jen, correct me if I'm.
I'll let
wrong
you know if
in
she
what
does. Yeah.
What I'm saying is the theory behind it is Kurt Cobain. He was in rehab, right, for heroin abuse. I can't remember how long sober, was fairly far along sober. Escaped rehab, I think like jumped the fence or something like that, like legit escaped. Went back to his house, injected, basically got high again, injected himself with heroin, and wrote a suicide note, then injected himself with heroin, put the shotgun in his mouth, pulled the trigger. That's the official version, right? The conspiracy is that he escaped rehab, was going back to the house. Him and Courtney Love got into some argument, and he either passed out or he did a little bit of heroin or something like that. She then injected him with a lethal amount of it, and then she put the shotgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger and killed him, and she wrote the suicide note. There's apparently some stuff in the suicide note that doesn't match his writings and stuff like that. Typically, the amount of heroin that was in his system is far above a lethal dosage amount. And something about supposedly, and I could be completely wrong on this, something about the angle of the gun that was in his mouth and stuff, it didn't make sense. Supposedly it was like almost impossible. Like he would have had to pull the trigger with his big toe or something like that. So
Jen,
this is also if you believe stuff out. Yeah. So yeah, what is Jen saying? I'm sorry.
No, she's basically backing you. Yeah, Jen is agreeing with everything you're saying 100%. Like you two are.
Okay.
You two. I asked, tell me the same name and don't repeat the same name and whisper it into my ear, and you guys repeated the same thing. You guys aren't lying.
I don't think that it happened the way it is told. I don't believe that. I think Courtney Love had something involved in it. Now, whether it was maliciously involved, I don't know on that. I will say this: I don't have any respect for Courtney Love as an artist or as a person. I don't have any respect for her.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. She's been shown to plagiarize a lot of her music, and immediately, if you're an artist and you're doing that, I lose a lot of respect.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with comedians. Comedians that steal jokes from other comedians, I lose a ton of you. I don't respect you as an artist anymore.
Right.
And plus, there's been a lot of stuff come out that she's really evil to work with. Like she's not a good person. And I mean, Frances Bean, how Frances Bean has turned out as normal as she has blows my mind. Like, no pun intended in this conversation, but like yeah, she's very well adjusted for coming from what she came from.
Right. Well, that was pretty heavy for a starting out on a Friday night.
I'm glad that's not on the podcast, though.
No, I guess this is what's kind of cool is a little before pregame show.
This is why you do the chat.
Yep. How the hell did we? Oh, her shirt. I was like, how did we end up here? All right.
So many. Yeah. I'm glad Jen's having my back at least.
Yeah.
It feels so good. Yeah.
All right. I am about to start Zencaster, and then we can get into it. All right, if you're ready.
Yep.
I'm just double checking my mic here. Yeah, I'm good. All right, on the count of 3. All right, and we're live. All right.
Welcome to the boot. Sorry.
All right, if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is Victor, and now that he's earned that beer for running for 4 miles, I am joined by Colton.
My fat ass running 4 miles. No way. I know what you're saying, but yeah.
Colton, say that is Colton. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. I ran 4 miles today. I have earned this beer, and my name is Colton.
And we are here to discuss episode 4 of season 8.
Scar tissue.
This episode was written by Flea, as we mentioned last podcast. I think this episode, we're going to get into other stuff before we get into it, but I think this is the episode where it starts to turn. Do you agree?
Okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This was bad. I'm not trying to be I've been trying not to nitpick this season. We had a conversation before we even started recording this season where I was kind of messaging like my opinions on some certain things and stuff like that, which we'll get into in later episodes. This episode is just not good.
Yeah. It's I hate what they do by the end of it. I'm just like, completely unnecessary. And yeah, we'll get into it. But as we try to do, and Colton, I have a nice little surprise for next week. Let's do some chit chat, so to say. Try to barrel through some questions, and Colton has them this week, so I'll let you lead the way, sir. After running 4 miles.
God, can you imagine if I ran 4 miles? Oh my God, that'd be a horrible sight. Okay, so we are going to start with. We have 2 questions for this, or we have 3 questions. Yeah, that's right. We're going to start with question number 1, which was one that I saw recently, and I thought it would be a lot of fun. You're on death row. Let's just say death row, but it can also be you are given a day that is your last day on Earth. What is your last meal?
So, I would say, I want to say we did this before. After talking, no, but that's fine. But the point of that, I think my answer changes, right?
My answer changes. I know it does.
Yeah, so maybe this is like a once a season we should revisit this.
And just keep notes of what it is every season. We can see where we're at. Like, I was in my healthy zone at that time. That's right. Kale salad. What?
So my gut answer, and it's like what Marissa will always cook me if it's like a holiday, whatever, if we're like celebrating or she's like trying to treat me to something nice. It's chicken parmesan with vodka sauce. is usually the go-to. I like that little
Love
kicker.
vodka sauce.
Yes.
I forgot how much you like vodka
Yeah.
sauce.
And it's either that or well-made chicken franchise. And I say well-made because me and Marissa always struggle to get a good, like, if we've made it 10 times, we've only made it good like 5. And that's not her or
What is
me.
it?
Chicken franchise. It's like lemon breaded chicken, lemon and wine and butter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chicken francese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a toss between those. If that's like my last meal, yeah, that would be it.
Okay.
I feel like yours is like some steak.
No.
Oh.
Bottomless breadsticks, never-ending soup and salad at Olive Garden. I get to live forever then.
Maybe we haven't done this question because I do not remember that.
The only reason I'm saying that is when I saw this question, somebody said that. I'm totally stealing it from somebody. I'm plagiarizing. I don't respect myself. So, no, I died laughing when I saw that answer. When this guy wrote it, I was like, "That's perfect!" Like, oh my god. No, real answer is it actually normally is steak. It would normally be medium rare steak, mashed potatoes, with steamed asparagus. That would be my normal answer. But whenever I sent you this, when I was thinking about it all day today, like, okay, it's my last day on earth. This is my last day. Like, what is that last meal? I don't care how my gut's going to feel. I don't care about nothing, right? Because it's end after that. I was like, you know what? I'm just going all out. I want spicy fried chicken, fried okra, mashed potatoes, and a big, big ice cold beer. That's it. Southern to the max.
If you're adding a drink, I'm going to add a Coke. Pepsi, sorry.
Really?
I don't drink it that much. We'll drink it like on occasion. But fried chicken, that is interesting because I think if I never have, and it's not that I don't like fried chicken. If I never had it again in my life like wouldn't have changed.
Oh,
I'm just not a fried chicken guy.
I am. I eat fried chicken at least once a month.
Wow.
I love a good, like, especially like hole in the wall where I have to pay cash only fried chicken, and that is the best here in Houston. There's this one place called Chicken and Rice Number 1. Oh, it is so good. They have the best wings I have ever had in my entire life.
And you know,
$7. You just go in, $7 cash. Let me take
those
my wings.
those are the best places. You know what's funny about that?
So good.
I love buffalo wings. Like I could eat 40 million. Like that might be my number 2. Like buffalo wings with some nice blue cheese.
But that's fried chicken. That's fried chicken still.
I know, but you know what? I would never go somewhere and order fried chicken. I would order everything out, like whatever else there was there besides that. Something I wanted to actually type in the chat, but she actually answered herself since Jen is a regular contributor to the pod. She's basically our she's behind the scenes. She's I was going to try and come up with an analogy, but I can't come up with one. She answered medium rare steak, asparagus. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, we're on the same page. Oh, we are on the same page right there.
Loaded baked
Ooh.
potatoes, Brussels sprouts, Brussels sprouts, cheesecake, and a Michelob Ultra.
That's interesting. You're doing asparagus and the sprouts. That's a good one. See, I'll do either steak and Brussels sprouts, or if I'm doing steak night, steak and Brussels sprouts, or steak and asparagus. There's no way I would mix the two. But if it's my last meal, ooh, that's good.
I gotta tell you, me and my wife have a saying: we're here for a good time, not a long time. So if we're ever like, oh, should we buy this? We'll like repeat to each other like, are we here for a good time or a long time? So it's like, buy that thing, get in debt, eat that nasty food, whatever. I have to say, if you guys have vegetables in your final meal, you guys ain't living.
Oh, no. It's all how you make it, man. I can make some really unhealthy Brussels sprouts, and they taste amazing.
I know, but at its core, it's still vegetable. It's still...
But I actually like vegetables.
No, I
Like,
do.
I really do.
I do, too. Just, when I think last meal, I think, like, Outback, their whatever their fries, I forget what it is. There's not one healthy...
Awesome.
Yes, it's cheese, bacon, and their sauce that comes with it is just so bad for you that you actually could hear your body saying, please don't. And like, oh never mind. And it's like so good. Let's go on to your second one, Colton.
Second one is kind of matching where we were talking about earlier a little bit, actually. Best concert you've ever been to.
So something I want to bring up is that this episode is being live streamed, and if you want to hear me, Colton, and Jen break down the Kurt Cobain death, some behind the scenes, Colton and Jen really gave you some insight into what actually happened, as they both know what actually happened. um, but
It's my cigarette. I'm just telling you, man, you don't know all the rules.
But yes, I just want to bring up this episode is live stream, so go check that out. We did a little
Absolutely.
bit before. Best concert I've been to. It is because it is in my quote unquote home country, just in terms of it's my family's home country. It's obviously not mine, but I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the first time they ever played in Guatemala. And I was there with my cousins and stuff, and it was just the Red Hot. Look, I'm the biggest Red Hot Chili Pepper fan you probably will ever know. They suck live, but if they said they were performing tomorrow and the ticket is $1,000, here's my $1,000. I'll go see them tomorrow. It's just like that unhealthy loyalty I have to them, that I will always pay to go see them. But that was the coolest thing. Just like they have the shirts with their logo, and they do the country in there, and it was so cool having like the Guatemalan flag with the inside the logo, and it was like the shirts. It says "I'm with you, Guatemala
That's
City," whatever.
cool.
That was, and like they kind of like took over the town, like there was Red Hot Chili Pepper logos everywhere. That was by far the best concert. I'm not sure what will top that. Maybe the first time I see the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Marissa, but other than that, yes. If I want to give a runner-up to a concert that probably may have topped that, but it got canceled due to COVID, me and Marissa and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law had tickets to the I think it was called the Mega Monster Tour or something. It was Green Day and Fall Out Boy and Weezer. And I'm a big Green Day fan, and I'm an even bigger Fall Out Boy fan. I don't care what that says about me. I love Fall Out Boy.
Did not know that. I learned something new.
Yeah, I man crush on Patrick Stump. I was so looking forward to that concert, and fucking COVID. So that concert never happened. I mean, they actually are playing now, but that's my answer. What's yours?
Okay. Mine is, and it's only because at the time, I will even say this right now, at the time I didn't consider it my greatest concert I'd ever been to, but now I 100% looking back on it, just because you can Google this performance and it's on YouTube with millions and millions of hits after what's happened, is I am a huge Linkin Park fan. Okay. So very big Linkin Park fan. I saw Linkin Park 8 times before Chester passed. So that was always, I'll say Linkin Park, best concert probably I've ever been to. Whether your opinions of them or whatever, don't really give a shit. They're amazing. They were amazing to watch live. I got to watch them when they performed in the Woodlands with Chris Cornell.
Wow.
And Chris Cornell came out and sang Numb with Chester.
Oh my God.
And at the time, I was like, that's badass, right? Like
Yeah.
at the time, it was awesome, right? I didn't realize until later on how much more I'm appreciating that now. And like I said, you can pull that up if you go on YouTube and you do Chris Cornell Numb, it'll come up Woodlands concert with Linkin Park, and it is the most amazing thing I like in my head still to this day. Best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like,
That's really cool.
nothing will ever top that. That's one of those things. As you get older, you'll get those. Like, this is going like to everybody. If you're into concerts, not everyone's into concerts. You know, it teach their own. But that is high up there. My second, I'm actually going to do a run up the same as you, because this was my favorite concert until events happened and stuff like that. And this is going to be always kind of a weird one. But Shinedown.
Wow.
Shinedown, the first time I ever saw them, if you ever get a chance to go to Shinedown, I cannot recommend them enough. The guy is like the rock version of Joel Osteen. Like, I hate Joe Osteen. I can't stand him, but the guy knows how to give a good positive message, right? And he knows how to like get people amped. The lead singer, I don't even know his name. The lead singer of Shinedown, though, he comes out and all he does is give these positive messages when he's talking between songs, and then they just go right into a performance. And it's a big show. It's like Cirque du Soleil and stuff like that. I went to it on a whim with a couple friends of mine, and we were kind of like, it's Shinedown, like they play on the main radio station, like whatever. That got done with, I was obsessed with them. I started finding every album I could with them. I was listening to them nonstop. If you ever get a chance, if you're into that type of music, pop rock and stuff like that, I recommend them fully to go watch live.
Let me ask you a question, and I guess this has changed now that since we are parents and we just can't do something randomly on a random night that we want to. Jen also 3 questions, 3 answers. Jen's answer was Pink. Marissa went to Pink on her bachelor party last 2019, and she said it was one of the most amazing shows ever. Like the theatrics and the quality put into the show, she was like, it was incredible. So I could see. I don't even think Marissa, she likes Pink. I don't think she loves Pink. A follow up to your a follow up to your question. And like I was saying, like we don't do this as much now because parents, and it's hard to just like randomly go out on a night. But were you someone who would just go to a concert even if like you didn't really know the band? Basically, because what I'm saying is I only went to concerts where like I knew the band. I'll know more than one song, whatever. Because you kind of said like, oh, not everyone's a concert person. I don't even know if I would consider myself a concert person because I will only go to concerts where I know I'm going to know the songs and have fun. Like, I'm always usually okay skipping the opening acts, whatever. Are you the other way? Like, if I said, like, hey, I have tickets to, I'm going to assume you don't know the band Ataxia. And I was like, hey, you want to come see this band Ataxia? They're pretty cool. You would come?
Let's go.
Oh, see, I would say
throughout the day, I'll pull up their songs. I'll listen to a couple, figure out who they are. That was how I went and randomly. I had never even really heard of 311, and a friend of mine was like, "Dude, hey, we're gonna go to this concert 311. I got an extra ticket. You want to go?" And I was like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "They're like this kind of like a reggae kind of band, but not really. They do like some different like stuff. They're just kind of out there." And I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's go check it out. And I loved it. It was amazing. Yeah, I'll not now, obviously.
No, but that's what I was trying to say. Like back then. Yeah.
Randomly, I would go to concerts. I was really big on festivals, like rock festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
see, I couldn't.
Bud Light Weenie Roast.
Unless I knew like 2 or 3. Like, what's the festival I went to? Bamboozle in like 2009. And like looking back, I guess I'm glad I went, but it sucked. There was like so many bands I had no idea. It was hot. I was like miserable. I went to Firefly Festival. That's where you camp and shit. And I mostly went because of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I'm not gonna do that.
Not to take up too much time. The third question. This is sponsored by Jen. Jen's like, are we just randomly talking about shit because this episode was so bad?
Nailed it.
Yeah. As soon as we wrap up this question, we're going to talk to you guys next week.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Dexter ended up in a pond or some shit. I don't remember.
It's funny you're calling it a pond. Your favorite pizza topping? And this is a sponsored question from Jen.
Mine is classic pepperoni jalapeno.
Oh, see, I was just gonna.
That's my.
Go ahead.
I don't like. I'm not a one topping person. Unless I do that, it's if I'm doing only one topping, it's extra cheese, like a plain plain cheese pizza. Then
I'm basic. I just go pepperoni. If I want to get crazy with it, I'll add buffalo sauce and like dip it in buffalo sauce. But it's usually just pepperoni. Nothing crazy.
If I'm gonna have toppings, can't be just pepperoni. It has to be pepperoni jalapenos. If not, it's plain cheese all day. Costco plain cheese pizza. Oh, so good.
Costco pizza is one of the most underrated gems in America.
For real.
Like if not to get political, if the 2024 president wants to say, I'm going to open up more Costco's and I'm going to lessen that pizza by $1, I don't even know how they could do it. That guy has my vote, or woman. Gotta be correct.
This is somebody from New York saying this. So,
I hate the pizza. I don't even want to get into it. Actually, we can because we have to fill up our time, and I don't want to talk about this episode.
No, let's get into this episode. We'll talk about we'll have Pizzagate another day.
And then again, the third answer, Jen's answer, pepperoni. So we're all in the pepperoni family. Oh my God! I guess it's time.
Scar tissue.
It's a terrible episode. It's so. Oh man!
I have 5 notes. I have 5 notes.
So, I guess there's a lot we could say about this episode. Sort of. I think this is definitely where this end scene. You know, I have a huge problem, and it's something I always talk about, and this episode shines the light on it like really bright. I have it all, and this episode was a little bit hard to do notes because it kind of all blends together, but I sort of have this as, you know, Dexter and Vogel with the brain surgeon, Deb and Vogel, and then I have Quinn and Masuka as one.
Oh, you have more on that than I did. I could care less about Quinn and Masuka in this.
So
I get we have to talk about it.
Right.
But yeah.
Let's go ahead and spin the wheel, and Colton, you let me know where it ends up.
And what about that? Quinn and Masuka to get out of the way. Let's do it.
Wow. Quinn passes his sergeant test, and while out celebrating, overhears other Miami Metro people talking about Deb.
Hold on. Best line of the episode, though, is from this. So
Quinn punches him, and then I just have that Quinn is such a magnet for anything Deb. Like, it's not even like Jamie's beef with Quinn. Like, it's always about Deb. Like,
yeah,
she's 1,000,000% right. Like, it's laughable. And I know, like, we're only seeing the scenes when Deb. It's like, okay, we know if Quinn's in this scene, Deb's gonna get brought up. Let's get it. Let's go through it. And why is Jamie constantly making up with him? What is the line that you said is the funniest line from this?
Oh, well, for me, the funniest one was whenever he passes it. He's like, "I've never been so excited about a positive test."
Yes. Yeah, and he has that like look in his eyes. That is a great line. This episode really encapsulates a lot of what I don't like about the Dexter show. Matthew alerts Batista that Angie Miller got a better test score, and I think it's part of where they never made the side characters matter. So it's like when you hear like Angie Miller has the better test score, it's like, honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
Who is Lieutenant has never mattered. Like, it didn't impact the story in any way. So when
Other than when Deb was, but that's because it's directly linked to Dexter.
Right, and there was more like, you know, she passed her father and she was never, you know, and it's sort of like the same thing with Masuka. Like, we're going to find out that his daughter shows up, and to my memory, she does not at all connect with the Dexter part of the storyline, meaning like she could literally be like side, like it could be like an after show, and it has no impact on the show. And it's my huge gripe that all these extra characters, they don't matter. They're there just to fill the episode. It's you know what? It's like Jen said, we could have done without 90% of this episode. I'm going to lower that number a little bit, but if you just eliminate, yes, like make this a 30-minute episode and just Deb, Dex, and Vogel, it just cuts out all the stupid shit. Like, I don't care that Quinn is punching people because of Deb. It's just, it's ugh.
So my notes literally on this, here you go. Jamie and Quinn fuck. That's about it. Vince and his daughter, the fuck why. That's it. That's my notes on them. Done. And that's literally what you just said. Like, that was it. Like, I don't, that's all. I mean, yeah, he gets a higher test score. Okay, cool. Don't care. You know,
it just doesn't impact. It just doesn't impact.
It doesn't add anything. It doesn't advance the story. Masuka and his daughter. Okay, Let me watch this from 20. What is this?
13.
2013.
Yeah.
2013. Colton. Okay, hey, maybe his daughter, maybe this is going to be something's going to happen. Maybe Dexter's going to try to date her, or maybe she's going to get killed by the killer. Like, that's what I'm thinking, right? That's a possibility. Now, we do have the unfortunate um, reality that we know what's going to happen, and it's stupid. It's pointless. And I'm really not trying to nitpick or anything like that on this, but unfortunately with this, we kind of have to know what's going to happen, and it's bad. Like, this is just that's it. Like, that's
Yeah. So like Jen says, like, I mean, we know Batista is going to give the promotion to Quinn. I honestly, and this is maybe just because I don't care, and I don't think the show makes us care enough. Like, I don't even know if I think that. Like,
yeah.
I just don't care enough to like connect the two. You know. Oh crap! My baby's up. Hold on. I gotta put my mic down for a second.
Okay.
I gotta go get Marissa. Hold on.
I would say the chat, Jen, I'm going to step away for 1 second.
Hey, I'm really sorry. Oh, Colton's not there. Let me type it in. Hold on here. I need like 2 minutes. I just got to gripe my baby.
Okay. The funs of having a small child. I want to say I look forward to her being 14, but then I also remember how I was when I was 14, and I don't know if I'm looking forward to that, Jen. And see, she's 2, and I feel like she's already mouthy, so it's just gonna make me worry even more. Oh yeah, say that's what I'm worried is she's gonna be like that. Just keep going until she's just forever old. Hopefully, I get to stay daddy's girl.
All right. Sorry, just had to grab my baby.
No, it's okay.
Um,
Me and Jin were talking about it.
I had a girl pretty much. Youngest 14. Mouthy.
It's like I'm not looking forward to 14. I remember how I was when I was 14. I was
Oof, man. This is gonna be hard to edit, but okay, I can continue because I have one more point about the Quinn and Masuka stuff.
okay.
With Masuka's reveal that his daughter shows up, and I kind of looked this up. I don't know if this was possible in 2013, where if you were a sperm donor, you can like go find your real father.
Oh, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Because I was just like, how is this even possible? And why make her a sperm? I guess there was an earlier scene where Masuka noted that he was a sperm donor, but why not just make him like a woman he had a relationship with in the past? But whatever, doesn't matter. The storyline doesn't matter. And you know what? Quite frankly, we spent too much time on it. Yeah, Jen, I don't think there was any point to her. I think I remember the story just falling flat, and that was that. Let's spin the wheel and see if we're going to talk about Deb and Vogel or Dex and Vogel.
Ooh. Deb and Vogel.
Wow, I did not see that one coming.
Wow.
So and something where I'm almost positive it's like one of the first times an episode starts out not with Dexter. Starts out with sort of a reenactment of a fantasy of sorts of Deb where she shoots Dexter instead of LaGuardia at the season 7 finale. And there's a lot of conversation here, but one thing that had me thinking was, I wonder if they shot this at the end of season 7, like where she also shoots Dexter. You know what I'm saying? It's not really that interesting, just something I thought of. But the way they only show Dexter has me thinking that it was a reshoot. Regardless, I have it interesting where Deb fantasizes basically that maybe she should have killed Dexter. And this is like treatment from Vogel, and at the end of the episode, she tries to do exactly that. And we have the sort of setup where Vogel is treating Deb, and Deb has to hit rock bottom in order to get any healing. Completely shatter in order to get back to whole. So Deb is staying at Vogel's house, and sort of Vogel's whole technique. It's interesting, and I wonder if you have any thoughts about this, because this is something like I kind of thought of later, as it was like just sitting in my mind thinking of stuff to talk about on the episode. Vogel shows Deb all these tapes of Harry, and just sort of trying to install the idea like, Dex did what he had to do, and so did you. Like Dexter was playing his role, and so were you. And what these tapes end up doing, and we'll talk about it, is make Deb realize, like, yeah, the only way out of this is for both of us to die. One has me thinking, like, did Vogel accidentally send Deb in a spiral without realizing? Or was this a way... Because Vogel does a lot of showing, like, Dexter's crack into being like the perfect psychopath
Mm-hmm.
has this soft spot for his sister. We've seen it in the previous episodes where,
Right.
like, oh, you think like that, you feel like that for your sister. I've never even knew that was possible. Was Vogel maybe trying to sabotage Deb, not knowing it would end up in suicide, but sort of get Deb out of the way? Did that ever cross your mind if you could put yourself back in 2013 shoes? Or you think I'm like reaching in terms of trying to make something that's not there?
In 2013, I would have never thought that. There's no way. I want to say I can remember what was going on, but I actually don't on this part. Like what I was thinking. I do remember when we'll get to that in a little bit, the ending, but I do remember that, like, her going through with the Lagorta not killing and killing Dexter and Vogel there. But all I remembered thinking in 2013 when I was watching this is just kind of like, well, why is she doing, like, why is it that she's trying to, like, convince Deb that killing Dexter would have been the worst case scenario? It's like, that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I don't know, there was a lot going on in it that it just doesn't add up in my head. I don't know, I don't know.
I feel like I thought there was a lot more sinister stuff behind Vogel back in 2013, but now watching this, I'm able to be like, I wonder if Vogel is like really trying to play God in terms of she has Dexter, and like I said, like, Deb is the crack in Dexter's armor, and
Yeah, I guess
sort of like not even like
this is her masterpiece.
Yes.
Okay.
It is just sort of something I thought of. And this is where my huge knock as in the show Dexter as a whole, and it gets brought up this episode that, Deb and Vogel go back to the shipping container, and Vogel just sort of sets it up where, again, Dexter was doing what he was supposed to do, kill LaGuerta. That's just who he is. But Deb, because she has a conscience and she's quote unquote normal, she just has to swallow this and accept the whole ordeal as love, sort of what she says for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the whole idea I always say is Dexter never suffers the consequences. I know he's suffering them with Deb here in terms of she hates him, but that's not a real consequence for being a murderer, for having his wife killed. His kids are not with him. And that's just sort of the little thing I hate. So I it sounds like you have stuff to say. Let me just say one more time.
Yeah.
I hate comparing it because I do it so often, but Walter White, as we go along Breaking Bad, suffers a lot of consequences for what he does. Dexter in season 8 is just, I mean, the season 8 opener was, life is great. I'm banging soccer moms. Coach my kid to a soccer championship. Life has never been better. And that's such a frustrating way to deal with a character who's a serial killer, who's supposed to be an anti-hero.
Right.
The defense, please.
No, oh no, there's no defense. There's no defense.
Oh, I meant
so
like,
I
was trying to say like in a courtroom when it's your turn to go.
Yeah. Oh no, we're both prosecution on this one. Don't worry. We're tag teaming him. We're going in.
Go ahead.
So, no, my issue is, this is, like I said, I was trying to give you, like, when you're asking me the 2013 Colton and what I was thinking. So I watched this episode. Technically now I've watched it 3 times in the last like couple months or whatever. So because I watched it once, I watched the season all the way through, and then I watched it twice, one time to take notes and a second time just to kind of really get some talking points. Watching it that time to get the talking points on it, I realized how much I fucking hate this episode. And the main course on it is this whole thing with it starts with the opening. The opening is so good, but yet so bad at the same time to me. Like, I really like the whole shooting Dexter and reliving this. And I'm like, that's really cool. Like, Jennifer Carpenter does a great job. We've got Vogel in here. This is all, like, it's really good. I actually really like it. But then, like, as it goes along, I'm like, well, hold on a minute. So Vogel's giving permission. Now, okay, the story is through Dexter's eyes. Okay, so I'm going to give the show the credit there. But Vogel's telling Deb, oh, well, he was going to go after Ligorta because she could have brought him down and she could have done this. So it was okay. Okay, whether you like Ligorta or not, she didn't deserve to die.
Right.
She didn't.
No, she didn't.
But but if Dexter's supposedly the perfect psychopath, why is Deb a free pass?
Right.
It's some bullshit. It doesn't. Her own thing doesn't add up, and I don't like that. Like you're making an excuse for Dexter. Okay, so like I said, that's through Dexter's eyes. Let's just go with it. But then at the same time, what you're saying, Vogel's also in here, kind of maybe possibly working behind the patterns because Deb tries to kill Dexter. So is she trying to also wipe Dexter out because she's also viewing Dexter the same way Harry viewed him? That's like he couldn't handle it once he saw the kill room. It doesn't add up to me. I don't know. And then that's not even getting into the video clips where when we first find out Harry killed himself, it didn't really occur to me what all was going on. But now watching this where I guess because we're actually seeing, which by the way is very cool, actually seeing Harry on the video. We don't see him as a ghost anymore, so now we're actually seeing real Harry, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But he's sitting here. He can't handle seeing this body cut up. He's like, he cut him up. He cut him up into pieces. No person deserves that. The fuck? You've been a cop. You've seen way worse. It's not like he cut the guy up alive. He killed the person or whoever it was. He killed the person and then chopped him up. Like, it's a body at that point. You're a cop, dude. You understand that. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird little things in this that really got to me when I was trying to watch it again for fun after taking notes, where I became the ultimate asshole for reviews on this. I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, to the point about Harry, I think he's a cop and he's obviously seen some shit. I think, and this is a scene that was, we saw this in season 2. This is where Dexter has the guy chopped up and Harry comes in the room and he sees it and he throws up and whatever.
Right.
I think in terms of, it's not that he doesn't deserve it. It's that, like, sure, maybe he deserves a gunshot to the chest, a knife in the heart. Inhumanely being chopped up into little pieces is where, like, he's
still dead.
That's sinister.
He's still dead, though.
No, I know, but like, if you're seeing your son do that and you coached him to get to that point and then seeing it, I can understand where he's like, oh no, this is not what I signed up for.
It's the same thing as killing somebody to me. I view that just as bad, I guess. What happens to the body afterwards? That's where we're gonna be on a disagreement. What happens to the body afterwards doesn't bother me one bit.
Oh, I think there's a huge part of stabbed and then cut into pieces. You don't think there's anything?
I don't. In my head, I don't. You've already taken the life. That's the worst part of it, and that's horrible. That's horrible that you're taking the life. Like, I'm not trying to, like, say that it's not a horrible thing. Walking in on your son, finding out he took somebody's life, that alone that's huge. But you're teaching him, well, don't get caught. Okay, well, he's cutting up a body. That makes sense. I guess I don't know. This is gonna sound really bad. If you kill a cow, is it more disgusting that we butcher it afterwards? If you're talking to a vegetarian, the killing the cow is the worst thing, not the butchering.
I don't know if we can compare cows to humans.
Very true.
That's a huge leap for me. All right, let's leave it at this. That we disagree. We disagree that I think it's far more worse to be chopping up body parts, and you think it's actually better to chop up.
No,
I'm joking.
Okay, let me put it in.
You don't see it as bad. Quite frankly,
I don't see it any worse than taking the life. Mm-hmm, that's my thing. I don't. So let me ask it like this then. Do you think Harry would have killed himself if he walked in on Dexter the moment he just stabbed him and then that was it? Or however he killed the guy, right? He just walked in on him. He walked in and bam, just like Deb did. You see the sword going in, right? That's what Harry did. And then all of a sudden, Harry's like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" He's like, "Well, Dad, this is what you told me to do. This is what I've been trained for." And he's like, "Okay, we got to get rid of the body. Let's wrap it in a sheet. Let's go throw it off of the Brooklyn Bridge, whatever it is that we're gonna do." Right? Do you think Harry would have killed himself then,
So
or do you think it's just because of the dismemberment?
So to alter your question, just in terms of like what they did with the body after, because I think that's where we start. We have a whole world of stuff we could talk about. To answer your question, if you replace Deb with Harry at the end of season 6,
Yes, let's just do that. Let's just do that.
I think there is definitely what the fuck did I do? This is terrible. I don't think it's overdose on heart medication.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think it's almost like I can't believe I did this. I can never talk to Dexter again. He's nuts. He's everything. I think the dismemberment is where it's like it doesn't even faze him. And I know the stabbing didn't faze him. I just think the chopping up is just like way too many steps past what they agreed upon as to do whatever. It is interesting that we have a different view on it because we're making something out of this terrible episode. So I'm glad.
Well, I'm seeing Jen writing in. I'm actually looking at the chat to see if Jen had anything to say on it, and which I'm actually in agreement with Jen. Yes, he still would have killed himself. He was okay talking about it, but saying it was something else. Harry still would have been over everything. I think that's what I think. I think seeing an emotion, no matter what, is what did him in.
Sure.
I think that's. But I'm glad we have a different opinion on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like,
No.
I do like that.
Something else I wanted to bring up this is sort of both in the Dexter and Deb. Could I save this for the Dexter part? Yeah, I'm going to save this for the Dexter part. But in terms of Elway and Deb, they're eating dinner together, and we kind of both learned that they both have, obviously, shit with their fathers. Deb, realizing, kind of like we talked about, how much like Harris she actually is. Okay, I guess that's sort of it with Deb, because a lot of it more factors into Dexter part.
Real quick,
Yeah.
nitpick,
Yeah.
just it's a very tiny one. Wasted opportunity to have a romantic thing between Elway and Deb. I think I was thinking, just because I'm 2013 Colton watching this, they're banging. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, next episode they're dating. This is what's going on, and Elway's going to get involved somehow. That's what I was thinking. Elway's going to start figuring out who Dexter is. That's kind of where I saw some stuff coming. So
definitely, let's revisit that as we get later into the season, because I think there is a point. I want to say it somewhat kind of gets brought up, but yes, definitely something we will talk about at some point.
Okay.
To get into Dexter and Vogel, let me go back at my notes here. So basically,
Actually, I don't have anything.
that's okay. You didn't have anything for Deb, and we made a whole thing
That's
about
true.
it. So
It was probably the best part of the episode, right,
Right.
there, other than talking about pizza. But
so we learn about this T.J. Yates, which is one of the next person up in Vogel's book, and while vetting him, we see a scar that sort of looks like it was from brain surgery.
again, drinking a beverage. He's drinking Pepsi, and it was a product placement drink of the Pepsi. They're showing so much beverage drinking this season. I don't know what it is that I'm noticing this. Elway's got all the shakes and the drinks and stuff. He's got the Pepsi Cola, and it's like advertisement on it. Beverages are a big part of this season. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm noticing this, but it's everywhere. Sorry.
If you would have told me, like, hey, beverages are part of season 8, I would have been like, please get away from me. You have a point. I don't necessarily agree, but you have a point, if that makes any sense.
I don't know why. Yeah. I'm not trying to think it has anything to tie in. It's just, why are they showing so many beverages? Like the workout guy, he had beverages all behind him.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just something about beverages this season. Sorry. I'm sorry again.
And we sort of learned that Vogel, to me, it like somewhat foreshadows that Vogel is keeping stuff from Dexter, where she just completely forgets to tell him about this brain surgery part. Actually, you know what? That's, to be fair, she didn't know. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
She didn't know about it.
I don't think it was intentional.
Right. and the tactic Vogel takes, repairing Dexter and Deb, in terms of Dexter thinks he needs Deb in his life, but Vogel and much, why Dexter and Vogel have a fallout, she sort of sets up the idea that his feelings aren't real. So on first watch, I was like, okay, I could see why later when Dexter sees that written, that why that's so like, I can't believe you're using me as an test experiment and you think all this. But then when I rewatched the episode, she kind of tells him right to his face that like your feelings are not legit. And then we could get into a discussion of just because you feel something, isn't that an actual real feeling? But early in the episode, I want to play the conversation they actually have because I feel like she's telling him, hey, what you're feeling isn't real.
Deb looks up to you, isn't that what you said?
She used to.
And that made you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
Well, no wonder you feel so lost. Deborah became a mirror, reflecting a positive image of yourself that you used to balance out with the notion of yourself as a monster. Now that mirror is cracked, and the only reflection you see is one of darkness.
You make it sound like that part of me isn't real.
And that's kind of like later, and we can, when we get into it, I think I have it written down exactly what she writes, but like he's sort of tricked himself into thinking those feelings aren't real. Isn't the fact that Dexter feels those things, doesn't that make that real? I don't know. I'm almost like confusing myself in what I'm trying to say.
Unless
It's kind of like if you're a woman, if you're a husband or wife, or it doesn't have to. If you abuse your spouse, and you still say you love them,
that's a good example.
You still love them, but no, but you could still love them. It's just you can have problems with how you express anger, but that doesn't mean you don't love them.
Okay. Here's my example on it. I see what you're saying right there. Here's my example on it. So, do you love your wife?
No.
Okay. So.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, how do you know that you love her? Well, because if I didn't love her, she would leave me. Right? Like, is that real love? No, that's a horrible reason. That's a horrible reason to say you love somebody, right? But that's in your head. That's what you think it is. Like, oh, well, that's what love is. I've seen it in the movies. I buy her stuff. I buy her things, so I love her. Well, no, there's more to it than that. That's how I guess I'm kind of thinking it is.
I'm not following you.
Okay.
I'm not following you.
Maybe maybe I think I have a point and I don't. So
I guess like Jen's saying. So you abuse them because you love them. I don't necessarily mean you hurt them because you love them. It's just, if you can. This is so difficult to talk about. I feel like you could still love someone and not be capable of treating them in the way that shows that. But I don't know. That's we both have baby issues.
So bad. I know she wants to be on so bad. But mama, okay. Okay. Welcome to digging first time parents Dexter podcast. Sorry. Cool.
I was just sort of saying that I guess what I came to is that just because you love someone but you're incapable of not hurting them does not mean you still don't love them. You're just incapable of being able to express the love in a way that doesn't hurt them. It's The more I talk, the more it's like sounding terrible. I just don't think hurting someone doesn't mean you don't love them. I know. The more
that's the right answer.
The more I
that's the right answer.
The more I talk, the more if you don't hit your spouse, you don't love them. Is where I'm getting to.
I'm gonna have to call Adult Protective Service. Oh, hey, we're still live. My bad.
Back at Yates' place, Dexter is stalking his house. Comes upon some women's shoes, and we see Yates has his own lair at the bottom of the house. Comes up the stairs. Dexter calls
Where was
Fogel.
his van? Because remember, he even made a point. Oh, the van's not here, so he's not there. So where's his van?
Listen, there's so much with this that we just have to have to rocket past all of this.
Walk like three blocks. He intentionally parks like 3 blocks away everywhere. I was really confused by that. I was like, huh.
Well,
okay.
let me jump onto a point I was making last week, where last week we had a cannibal, and now this week we have a guy who collects women's shoes as trophies with an entire lair under his house. Again, this is all... Go look at Miami in a map.
Oh.
It is not big.
Under his house in Florida.
No
in
basement.
The basement in Florida.
Yeah, and it's like Jen saying in the chat, do people have basements in Florida? I really don't know anyone that has a basement in Florida, let alone this whole thing. That's a huge hurricane hazard. Oh God, it's just. I wanted to bring something up that I don't know if it was intentional. I kind of caught it because I just said to myself, why is this in the episode? And Dexter is with Harrison, and Harrison gets brought up his imaginary friend. I want to play the clip here because it's it's the smallest thing I could make sense of it. And I don't even know if it makes any sense.
How many, mister?
2. 1 for me, 1 for Dad.
2 it is. Who's Dan?
That elephant. You don't see him?
The only thing I could grab of this was the elephant in the room.
Oh.
But what's the elephant in the room between
See.
Dexter and Jamie?
There's not.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just that Dexter's a serial killer and whatever, or that Deb's not there, whatever. I don't know. I tried to make something out of nothing, but I don't know. I got
That's
nothing.
more than I got out of it. I honestly was just like, it's Dan, the imaginary elephant. Okay, they're trying to give Harrison some personality. He has an imaginary elephant, but where's this going to go? So,
yeah, I had nothing.
Dan's in the car and he pulls the wheel, puts him into the pond. Sorry. Dan, the imaginary suicidal elephant.
Dude, I think you just created a kid's book. So, something else that I remember thinking this back in 2013, and if you want to put our 2013 caps on. Obviously, even if we have not watched the rest of the season, we could tell that this Yates is not the actual brain surgeon. Forget what we know of what's to come. Even the reveal, it just doesn't seem like, or we have a whole nother new villain coming in the next episode, but combining what we know and what we didn't know back in 2013, this Yates is definitely not the brain surgeon, or, he's acting with someone else, whatnot. What a convoluted way that this guy is not it, and there's someone else coming. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God, this is like the 4th person. Dexter's just killing everyone in Vogel's book. And I know he didn't kill him yet.
By the way, why is all of her patients serial killers in Florida? Let's talk about that.
This is the
Man,
moment.
I think you need to have your license revoked.
This is the moment where if we're gonna have a podcast and we start actually breaking down season 8, we're just gonna keep running into this type of stuff because it's like,
yeah, we are.
It's again, if you just took a moment and rewrite all this stuff, or just someone look it over, it's like, wow, so we had a cannibal and whatever, and they lasted 1 episode, and I know, fucking, Yates' 2 episodes. I don't know, it's just infuriating. There's so much going on, but there's no substance to it. You know what I mean? Dexter calls...
Again, they could have made this 30 minutes. Like, you made that very good point.
Right,
They could have made this whole episode 30 minutes.
Oh, it's like Jen said, you don't need 90% of this episode. Like, that's where I got it from. So Dexter, once he goes in the lair and he finds out that he has all this stuff there, because Yates has everything that points him in the direction of being the brain surgeon. He has He has the his and her jars. He has how to actually cut a brain, but we know he's not the actual one. Dexter calls Vogel over, and they realize that Yates has been hacking into Vogel's files. Oh, and this is where I was saying where she kind of says the same thing, and verbatim from Vogel's blog or whatever she was doing. Somehow he's deluded himself into thinking his feelings for his sister is genuine, unaware there are no real emotions behind them. I should have saved the clip for here, but I feel like she did try to tell him this earlier in the episode where everything you're putting together in your head is not whatever. The other part that had me a little confused is like this is a psychologist who admitted Vogel and Harry sort of experimented on him. Why wouldn't he think Vogel does this stuff?
Yeah, no clue.
Like, you know what I mean? You would have to think that. I mean, there was times like he says, like, "Are you analyzing me?" Of course, she's always been analyzing you on this.
He's one of her longest running experiments. I mean, that's like that's how you could put it. That is her longest running experiment. Of course, she's going to take notes.
The show tries to make Yates's father and comparison with Yates to Dexter and Deb in terms of like Yates will kill his, because we get this little scene where Dexter fakes being from the nursing home, gets Yates in there. I don't even want to talk about how they just both escape after an alarm goes off. Like Dexter is just hiding in the corner. And they both escape. Yates goes out the window. Dexter walks out of the room. Mm-hmm. No one knows any the better. But you're sort of making this thing where it's like Yates would kill his father to get by, whereas like Dexter, Dexter used to talk about how everyone around him is just shields to show who, protect him who he really is. I just think whatever they tried to do was so sloppy that like I don't even care. Go ahead.
No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Go ahead.
Something that I don't know where I was going to put this, but I found it interesting. There's one of the tapes that Deborah watches. This to me, I thought they were trying to make some. What do you call that when like the same thing happens to two characters? I forget what it's fucking called. Similarities.
Okay, sure.
Harry mentions how Harry mentions how Dexter had all of his stuff laid out on the floor. And while this is not an audio medium, Elway comes into Deb's office and she's like, "This is my process," and she has stuff all over the floor. If you remember that scene. So I just want to play the little clip back to back.
He had everything laid out on his bedroom floor. Dexter saw in the paper.
We do have filing cabinets,
This is kind of my process.
Just something I noticed. I don't even know if it was intentional or not, but just something interesting.
Okay.
So sort of wrapping up Dexter, Deb, and Vogel's storyline. Deb comes to grips with what she has to do. She sees Quinn at the station. I think you could appreciate it a little bit more on a watch back that she's like literally saying goodbye to Quinn forever.
Yeah.
Something that always makes me laugh. And it's really where the first time watching this, 2013, I think this is July, is really where I said, holy fuck, the voiceover is so stupid. Is the moment where after Deb says bye to Quinn and she's walking into Miami Metro, Dexter's walking out of Miami Metro, Deb is on the scene, and the Dexter voiceover just goes, "Deb."
I don't even know if it must have been so bad I didn't even notice it.
It's just like,
I didn't even notice it.
What are we doing with the voiceover? Like, we know that's Jennifer Carpenter, and I know we're always watching it through Dexter's eyes. And if this is a nitpick, I'm okay with that because I always laugh when he just goes, "Deb."
But that's how bad it is. I don't even notice it, so it didn't add anything to it. So why even do it?
It always makes me laugh. It just always makes me laugh and how stupid it is.
As soon as this is over, I'm gonna fast forward to the end of this episode again and watch it.
Dexter and Deb go for a ride. Deb brings up the DVDs, straight up asks Dexter, did Harry kill himself? And that sort of solidifies her plan. Oh, man. So, Deb jerks the wheel. Let me set it up and then we could talk about it. The car goes into this lake. There's a guy there. He rescues Deb. Deb goes back in to save Dexter. End of the episode. Oh, man. Let me state my overall case of why this is so infuriating.
Okay.
It's episode 4. You're not killing Deb or Dexter. You've made, what are we now? 84. This is the 88th episode. We know you're not killing a main character 4 episodes into the final season. Mm-hmm. And even if I thought it, you gave me 30 seconds to let that sit in my mind. Because you couldn't have the episode end without both of them being alive. Mm-hmm. Add to that, and this is something I think I talked about a few seasons ago. If we were live in 2013, as soon as that episode ends, they show the trailer for the next week, and you see they're both alive. So, what was the point of doing this? Especially if Deb is so sure she's going to kill both of them. Seconds later, because the car goes into the lake, the guy grabs her out, and she's like, I have to go save him.
Not only that, okay.
I just don't understand. What the point of this is. It's not a cliffhanger, because I think it's like 2 minutes, this entire final scene. It happens, and then they solve it. I feel like if you don't cut me off, I'm just gonna sit here for the next hour repeating myself. So please go.
Okay, so first off, it would have been a cliffhanger had they just shown her go under the water, and then it's just like you see the bubbles. Remember how that kind of gets to that point? Had they just gone dead silent, credits roll. Okay, hey, it's a kind of a cliffhanger. We know Dexter's not dead, right? But maybe he's in a coma. Maybe Jennifer Carpenter dies. We don't know. Right? And then next week on Dexter, don't show either character. Just show flashbacks or something like that. It would have at least left something that would have been fun, right? That's my take on the ending to this, because I agree. Now, part of that ending, though, that really infuriated me is after they go into the water, they land in the water, right? This guy comes out, this dude right here comes out, and he goes fishing, or he goes into the water to rescue Jennifer Carpenter, which I think, and go back and watch it, I kind of wonder if it wasn't even actually Jennifer Carpenter. I kind of wonder if they had a doll, like a life-size doll, because at one point she's floating like perfectly on the water. It's really weird. Something about her doesn't seem right. Now, maybe it is her. I don't know. But she's sitting here and she's going like this, like she's not moving or anything, right? And so he's like carrying her over and stuff like that. So this girl, Jennifer Carpenter, who weighs maybe 100 pounds soaking wet, is injured to the point where she can't swim to the shore, and this guy has to rescue her.
Unconscious.
Goes back, unconscious, jumps back into the water, rescues Dexter, who's buff. Let's be realistic, weighs probably double what Jennifer Carpenter weighs, and she's able to pull him out of the water and swim. I'm done. I don't care. Like, it was so bad.
You know what's funny?
None of this...
Me and you are chopping the scene down in entirely different ways. You're looking at how unrealistic it is. I'm looking at how fucking stupid it is. And when you add that together, this is really bad.
It's so fucking unrealistically stupid. That's what it is.
And unnecessary. Like,
it added nothing.
Shoot him. And the bullet goes through the chest or all of it.
This was so bad that I, to this day, remembered watching this for the first time. And before we ever did this podcast, before I ever even heard of you, and people would talk about Dexter, I'd be like, you remember when that car drove into the water and how fucking stupid that was? I would talk about this scene. That's how bad this is. This is worse than, spoiler alert really quick, this is worse than the ending with the boat. That's how bad this is. This is so dumb.
The only reason why it's not is because that is the series ender. This is episode 4 ender. I think we have dumber moments, treadmill, before we get to bad moments. Regardless, we could talk about that when we get there.
We can talk about dumbest moments later.
To the addition, that's okay. The addition,
she's fine.
The addition of all of it in terms of what I just don't here. If you could let me pick one thing, why would you? What makes this worse is that they make this out to be a big moment. It's the end of the episode. The music. They took all their time and money to shoot that car driving, and they add the music. Mm-hmm. Why do this if 20 seconds later nothing's changed? Because, and this is something we could talk about next episode, I remember thinking back in 2013, well, that was stupid, but now Dexter has to answer for this car that he borrowed from the motor pool. Well, what do you mean it fell in the water? Oh, Dexter maybe had to go to the hospital because he was unconscious. Hey, Dexter, what happened? Why is there so much shit going on between you guys? Why is and then maybe something happens with Vogel, and that's how I thought we're gonna get like everyone
or he's on edge
slowly,
around dead. Like
slowly
he's on edge
swarming
dead.
in.
Like when is she gonna try again? When is she gonna try again? And
all of that, yeah, anything, and I'm almost positive by the next episode, this whole thing is completely done away with.
I want to say he brings it up once, but it's more like why would you do that? Like that's it.
But I think the next episode opens with it. But I'm talking like after after when we get to episode 6, I'm almost positive it's never brought up again.
No,
this is just a piss poor way and a lazy way to quote unquote rectify what's going on between them, and it's just I think we've talked enough about it. It's just lazy and it's completely ineffective.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree completely.
So that's all I have on this stupid episode. I don't think we have a good episode until the finale, because I do think the finale is somewhat decent until the very end. I think we're getting into some really bad waters after this, pun intended, after this episode. Colton, that's all I have for this stupid fucking episode. Do you have anything else?
Not a damn thing.
Well, much thank you to Sean and Jen for joining us in the chat today. We will be back next week to discuss Season 8, Episode 5, This Little Piggy.
Woo!
Oh, no. I meant to stop the Zencaster. Fuck!
Can you start the stream back up?
Oh, I didn't mean to do
Oh,
that.
that'll be a new-
Hey, are we still live, guys? I think we're still live. I stopped Zencaster. I didn't mean to do that. Are we still live, guys? Someone answer.
I messaged into it.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes, we're still live. Woo! Okay, cool.
We didn't want to give you as bad of a cliffhanger like they did.
Actually, ours would have been better because it would have been an actual cliffhanger.
I'm going to download our tracks real quick. Oh. What the hell happened? Oh, get back into Zencaster. Please. Hold on. Is anyone still here in the chat? Maybe I could just end it. Wait, are we still up? I'm so sorry. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I think Colton accidentally. Colton, if you could get back into Zencaster. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is terrible. It's just. I'm so sorry. Um, thank you guys for joining us. It's something we really appreciate, especially you two guys. You guys are always here to chat with us. I want to get Colton back in because I want to bring up something. Well, if everyone can hear me, let me. Oh, there you are. Yep, there you go. Oh, hey, look at this little thing I figured out. This is cool. Look at this. Sweet. Look at that. Okay. Colton, so I wanted to bring something up to you that I forgot to, but since we're live on air, you can hear me?
Yeah.
So, did I ever tell you how I always felt like my post never got any traction on Reddit?
Yes.
So I messaged the moderators because I posted like some memes or pictures of me at filming locations, and I would get like 300 upvotes. But I would post about the podcast, and it would get like one upvote.
Right.
So I asked them like, "Hey, are my posts being like banned or ghosted, whatever?" So they were like, "Can you show us proof?" So I sent them like I had like 3 posts. I had like 1,400 upvotes. I posted like I sent them my 3 podcast posts, and I got 3 likes total. I was like, don't you think this is a little weird? I understand maybe the podcast and maybe I suck. I'm glad to take that, but like this seems a little improportionate because the Dexter sub is very Dexter centric, you know?
Right.
So they let me know that my website, well, the podcast website, which is just the episodes on there, got spam. Got what do you call? Flagged. Flagged as spam.
Flagged as spam.
So he said he was looking into that because I'll post about the podcast and it used to be like, oh my God, I never heard about this.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, and it's very weird. I wanted to post about that. We were doing a live tonight, but I asked the mods and they never got back to me, so I didn't post it. So
I follow it. I mean, I could always make a post about it.
I was going to ask you today if you don't mind posting about it, but the only reason why I didn't is because I was talking to the mods and I didn't want to like have someone else post while I was talking to them because they were like, "Are you liking accounts from an alternate account? You know, to like boost your own likes?" And I'm like, "No, because that could get you banned from Reddit if you post. You know, you post from another page or whatever."
Right.
So that's just something I wanted to bring up. And maybe for our next live, I will have you post. Just say like, "Hey, if you guys are interested." No links. Because I think the links is what gets us in trouble in terms of
okay.
in terms of whatever. But that's something we could deal with next week, and whatnot. So that was really it. I didn't even see in the chat here who's still here. If you do another Friday, I won't be there because I'm on vacation. I'm never available during the weeks anymore. Yeah, we're just trying out different days.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. I can't tell you.
This is more or less kind of like trial runs for season.
Yeah,
9.
New Blood. Yeah.
That's all this really is. So what days work best? Because we don't know what days they'll be airing those episodes. I mean, I'm assuming it'll be Saturdays.
No,
right?
Sundays.
Sundays.
I think what we have somewhat set up is we're going to go live streaming Sunday night, not recording. Just get back on here just to be like, holy shit, did you see that? I can't believe Trinity is back. And then actually record Monday night.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because it's just too much to do Sunday night, record, edit, post. Yeah. And it's only for 10 Sundays, which is a lot, but I guess that's really it.
But this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
It really is. That's why I want
It's gonna be worth it.
Reddit to fucking. I know. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. Let me just check all my
Fucking
recordings
Reddit.
here. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's Digging Podcast. That's Soundboard. And is this you? Head scar. Yep. Okay. I got all of my shit that I need. Let me look into here. Oh, why am I frozen?
Oh, I can see you. Can you hear me?
No, we're frozen on the stream.
Oh.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's all right. I guess they could still hear us though, because we're still talking. So, two.
Oh, we do need to get. Oh, I forgot to say something on the episode.
What?
Well, it's live right now. While we're talking, we need to get a. I'll even be the one that does it. I'm gonna get a on the Facebook, a voting up for us to do.
Yes.
Mr. Brooks or American Psycho.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why we're black now. Yep.
I'll take care of that though.
Yeah. As time goes on. Zoom.
I mean, I don't want to do it during the middle of this season, but it'd be nice to do like maybe because we don't. I mean, we don't necessarily even have to do a live stream for that. I feel like with that movie, I don't know. Well, whatever one is picked, I don't know. We can talk about that. For
Yeah.
part of it.
All right. So I guess that's it for now. Sean and Jen, thank you so much. And
Absolutely, both of y'all.
I will get to editing this episode because there's going to be so much fucking...
It won't be as much as you think.
I think it's just one big cut, honestly, because I had to get out.
Yeah.
But
I disappeared for a short little bit on it too. So I mean, it's just
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. I talked a little shit about you. It's all right.
I'll play it back. All right, Sean, Jen, thank you. Colton, thank you. And we're out.
Later, y'all.
Later, man.
Later.